We are on scene tonight with police in Winter Park, Florida, showing the dangers that officers face every single day. We will get to the unbelievable surveillance and body camera video in a moment, but first, let's hear a 911 call from someone at a wedding reception saying a guest was attacking a family member.
I have a very irate, drunk guest. He has no shirt on. He's on the outside of the building. He's trying to beat people up. He's yelling. He's very drunk. He's grabbing an older woman and shoving her. Yeah, it's getting bad. So they're just saying for me to move away because people are making him mad. Anybody of authority is making him angry.
The caller said Daniel Knight, the bride's uncle, also pushed two people down. He went outside, then got into an altercation with other members of his family as he tried to get back into the building. As officers arrived, the suspect's sister was there trying to calm him down.
Back up. Back up.
First wedding. It's his
back
first,
up. Back up.
First wedding. He's got
Back up. Back up. Move out of the way. Move out of the way. Move out of the way. Man, move out of the way. Move out of the way. Move out of the way. Come here for a second. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Police tried to get the suspect's relatives away from him and de-escalate the situation. One of the officers tried to pull a woman away from Knight's reach, but then Knight appeared to pull the woman between himself and the officers.
Put your hands on your back now. Put your hands on.
Knight punched one officer who fell to the ground unconscious. The second officer at the scene deployed his taser, which was not effective. The suspect then attacked that officer and kept punching him while he was on the ground. Knight stood over him and the officer opened fire. Knight was taken to the hospital where he died. After the shooting, someone from the crowd actually attacked the officer. Meanwhile, others tried to help the officer, who was knocked unconscious as he made it back to his feet. Now, that officer has returned to the job. The officer who opened fire is on administrative duty as this investigation continues. Joining me now is Chad Ayers, our retired sheriff's deputy from Greenville County, South Carolina, and founder of a company that teaches active shooter training. Chad, I think what stood out to me the most with all of this is that this was happening at a wedding. In that body camera video, at one point, you could even see the bride there in her wedding dress.
Yeah, absolutely. We sit there and look at it, and all of a sudden, obviously, this guy has caused some type of disturbance for the entire wedding party to be outside. I'm trying to calm him down. We see this all the time, though, right? At weddings and concerts, people start drinking too much. They don't act normal, and look what happened that night.
So police are trying to get the man away from the other. They're trying to calm him down in the beginning. Let's take a look at that part together.
Come here. Come here.
Danny.
Get away from him. Put your hands on your back now. Put your hands on.
And you hear the gunshots there. The suspect at one point knocked out an officer. They tried to use lethal force, Chad, and then obviously had to shoot the man. Do you think they had any other option in this situation?
Brian, we have a force continuum in law enforcement. It starts with our presence, officer presence, then it goes to verbal, trying to talk someone down, then it goes to empty hand control. That's like you're grabbing a hold of someone. Then you get hard empty hand control. That's your strikes. Then we have intermediate weapons, and then we go all the way up to deadly force. These officers used every one of those almost. They tried to talk to him initially when he got there to de-escalate, try to figure out what was going on. At that point, that gentleman, I don't even want to call him a gentleman, obviously, punched that officer out cold and then attacked the secondary officer who was trying to deploy a taser that was ineffective. And we see this a lot. Tasers, everyone reverts back to the tasers. Tasers is not the magic wand there. It doesn't always work. At which point, he's on his back, he's being attacked, and he has to use deadly force, and he's justified.
One thing that surprised me, Chad, I guess sort of surprised me, is just how chaotic it was with the other wedding guests. Like all of the screaming that was going on, it must have been hard for the officer to really like focus in on what was actually happening, because you had screaming, sort of people wailing all around him during the whole thing.
No, I mean, we see it a lot in large crowds. Look, I understand, and I hate that any life is lost. I really do. But it's a chaotic scene. You've got two officers there trying to de-escalate that. You've got people interfering as they're trying to figure out exactly what's going on. And then, of course, when the gunfire kicks off, and let's be honest, I can understand the reaction of patrons being around there. I really do. But at the end of the day, those officers did what they could, to make sure that they went home to go see their families at the end of the day. And unfortunately, it ended in someone's life.
Yeah, certainly a tragic ending. Apparently, the FBI might be called in to investigate. We'll see how it all plays out. Thanks for joining us. Banfield is coming up next.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.